Welcome to the English module. Today we are going to talk about confusing words in English. These are the learning objectives for this video. The participant will be able to distinguish between the spelling and meaning of confusing English words, compare the spelling and pronunciation of confusing English words, apply these confusing English words correctly. Yes, let's talk about nouns and verbs that cause confusions. Okay, advice, both pronounced the same, one with a C, one with an S. The C is a noun and the S is a verb. To be specific, in British English, American English uses a C also for the verb. He gives good advice with a C, so that's a noun, and he advised us to read before signing, it's a verb. Affect and effect, so it affects my concentration and your talking has a negative effect on my concentration. So affect is the verb and effect is a noun. Well, the difference between breath and to breathe. Breath is a noun. It's the air that goes in and out of your lungs. So breathe with an E and after the TH, that's the verb. It means to exhale or inhale verb. Let's discuss these verbs that cause confusion. Assure, ensure, ensure. Well, assure means to tell someone that something will definitely happen or is definitely true. She assured us that we won't fail the test. So someone normally after assured us in this case. Ensure means to guarantee or make sure of something. She ensured no one cheated on the test. And then insured with the I means to protect against something, damages or loss. And students are insured against injury at school. So insured, protected against these injuries. Now the focus is on nouns. Capital and capital, AL and OL. Capital has several meanings. As a noun, it can refer to an uppercase letter, capitalization, remember? We talked about it in a previous video. Money, a city where a seat of government is located, or as an adjective, meaning excellent or important. The capital of Peru is Lima, in this case, well, a city. Capital means the building where a legislature meets, also having to do with law. The United States Capitol is in Washington, D.C. Then we have complement and compliment. Complement normally is something that completes something else, so it's used to describe things that go well together. The yellow shirt is a perfect complement to this skirt. They go well together. And a compliment is a nice thing to say. We receive many compliments on our latest project. Confusing words, for example, e.g. and i.e., and farther and further. These two Latin abbreviations are often mixed up, but e.g. means for example, and i.e. Means that's it, or that's. Farther and further refers to a physical distance, the one with it a, farther. He can run farther than the others, and further refers to a metaphorical distance. He is further away from finishing his project than she is. So not really a physical distance, as just as the way to say it, to speak. These words are also quite confusing. So principal with AL and principal PLE, and stationary. AL often it means someone in charge of a school. Example, I was called into the principal office. And then it can be used in an adjective, meaning something that's the most important, the principal reason. And then principle with PLE is an ideal belief, so that doesn't like growing a beard as a matter of principle. And stationary with the A means not moving. And then the one with an E, that means writing materials. And actually, you can remember it quite well if you remember pen. It has an E, and stationary with the E means writing materials. Pay attention to these verbs, borrow and lend. And borrow means to receive something, and lend means to give something. In Dutch, lenen, uitlenen is actually used for borrow and lend, but in English, very specific. Can I borrow your car? So I'm going to receive something from you, and I can't lend it to you today, so I'm not going to be able to give it to you. I'm not going to give it to you. So it depends which way you do the loaning actually, or the asking. And then preposition conjunction, despite is a preposition and although is a conjunction. You can read it here. Here we have a couple of adjectives that are quite confusing and specific to be used. So you have big, well, Big Mac, you see the hamburger, and this is a stamp. You see great, and then you will have, yeah, the mountains, high mountains, and then a large group of people. Then you will have this little boy, but not so little because it's a tall boy. And then on the next slide, you will know some more about the differences between big, great, high, large, and tall. Here is some more about the big, great, high, large, and tall as adjectives. And you can see the differences between these words. I would like to say something about the word learn and the word teach, because it's difficult to some people. To learn is an irregular verb, so you learned and learned, but we actually see it also with ed in American English. That means to gain knowledge, skill. I learned English at school. And to teach is an irregular verb also, but it's taught. That means that to give someone knowledge or to train someone, to instruct. My teacher taught me papiamento. So you cannot say my teacher learned me papiamento. I learn it, so I do it myself. Then I use learn, the verb. And if someone teaches me something and I learn from it, they say the person that does the teaching, my teacher taught me papiamento in this sentence. Yes, here you can see commonly confused words in English. So to get a little bit more of information. Yes, let's practice. Click on the link underneath this video for the quiz about confusing words. Good luck!